sunshine.
Ain't no sunshine when you go home. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when you go home. This house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away.
Yeah, Teddy? Yeah, Teddy? We're almost there.